What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about 5 cruisers that are going to be dependable, reliable, fun, and you can get on the cheap. These are going to be a little more inexpensive bikes that are kind of easier to attain, and you're going to be able to pick them up on Craigslist or Facebook Market for anywhere from, I don't know, 1,800 to maybe 35, maybe 4,000. So definitely going to be like half the price of a new bike that you're going to buy. So let's get right into it. All right, the first bike we have on this list is going to be the Honda Shadow. It's probably going to be the most chopped and bobbed bike that you're going to find on Craigslist or Facebook Market. It's been in production since 1983. And these are super reliable bikes. My favorite is the 750. They came in 750 and 600 and I believe 1100 cc's as well. They might have a few odd years that they might have done like a random cc, but 750 or 600 is probably the best, you know, cc, kind of like the Goldilocks cc that you want to be around. 750 is going to be pumping out about 45 horsepower. So that's pretty decent. That'll get you wherever you need to go. Kind of tops out at about 100 miles per hour. You can find really good deals on these bikes, and they're going to range anywhere from, I don't know, say 22 to maybe 3,500. So you don't really need a lot of money to get a really good bike. And I personally own 3 of these bikes, and they last. They're Hondas, so Hondas really do last a fantastic long time, long maintenance intervals, and they just run. They just do what they're supposed to do. So Honda Shadows, definitely, I would recommend them. I never really had any problems with them, so go out and check them out. All right, second bike we got on this list is going to be the Harley Sportster. Now, both the 883 and the 1200 cc engines are proven platforms. They run for a really long time. My favorite years were going to be kind of around the late 90s and the early 2000s. Those are going to basically be the Evo engines. And the Evo engines are just rock solid. They can really just go forever. You're not going to have any problems with this bike. The 1200 is going to pump out about 61 horsepower, so it's a pretty fast bike. Probably not a good beginner bike. I want to say the 883 would probably be a better beginner bike. That's going to be pumping out about 50 horsepower. And you don't have to worry about, you know, blipping the throttle and kind of jetting out real quick. It's better to have something with a little bit lower horsepower when you're first starting out. But if you've been riding for a while and you want to upgrade, the 1200 is fantastic. You can really zoom on that bike. So one of the best things about the Harley Sportsters is they're extremely customizable. They're probably the most customizable motorcycle in history. They've been around since I think it's like 1957. And through the years they had a bunch of different engines, but I think the Evo engine is fantastic. That's probably your best bang for your buck. It's going to be pretty easy getting parts in case something does break down on the Sportster. So many years of so many parts that you can just, you know, interchange a lot of the Sportster parts on that. So you can probably pick these up for anywhere from say 3,000 to 4,500. That's going to be kind of like your cherry picking spot on Craigslist. So I owned a few Sportsters. I owned the Ironhead. I think it's a 73 Ironhead, and I also owned a 2000 1200 cc. And the only problem I ever had with the newer Evo engine was a bad ignition. So that's not too bad of a deal, really. So if you want the quintessential badass motorcycle with loud pipes and rumbling engine, you know, the one to piss off the neighbors, this would definitely be the bike to get. So you can't really go wrong. They got pretty good high resale value on the Harley Sportsters as well. All right, so the third bike I have on the list is the Honda CB series. These bikes been in production since the 1960s and are still in production today in many different versions. I would personally pick up a CB 650 or a CB 750, something from the late 80s, early 90s. Finding parts won't be a problem at all. You might have to wait a week for like an older, you know, CB, something in the 80s. But the 90s, you can find those parts all day. You know, 2000s, you'll be able to find those parts all day as well. If it's not on eBay one week, it'll be on, you know, eBay's part list the next week. So these bikes are basically bulletproof. Honda in general, ever since, you know, they started making motorcycles, these have been just the go-to motorcycles to buy. Very high maintenance intervals. You don't have to worry about tinkering with anything. Hondas just really work. They're just one of the most reliable motorcycles that you can get in general. So the very first bike that I ever owned was a 1987 Honda Hawk. It was gorgeous. I'll put a picture of it right up there. It's the orange with the kind of retro pinstripes or styling on it. That bike, oh my god, man, I got stories about that bike. I remember I bought it, I think in 2002 or 2003, and I ended up buying it from a mechanic, and he sold it to me for 750 bucks, and I didn't know how to ride a motorcycle or anything, so he was super worried. He kind of gave me like a little 10-15 minute tutorial of how to ride motorcycles, and I thought he was about to shit his pants when I drove off on that thing, and I did not know what I was doing, but I'm a smart guy. I figured I'd figure it out. I don't think that's the best way to learn how to ride motorcycles, but it is what it is, you know? Back in the day when you're young, you don't have the common sense that you usually do, you know, when you get a little bit older. But yeah, definitely the Honda CBs are a way to go. There were over 1 million of them made, so parts will be literally everywhere. The reliability of the Honda, those things will just keep on chugging along forever. If you talk to any motorcyclist, they will say Honda's the best. Literally better than Harley, better than any other motorcycle on the market right now. Alright, so we're going to be talking about the Yamaha Verago series. It was produced from 1981 to 2007. There are many different cc versions of this bike, from the 250cc all the way up to 1100cc. My favorite is the 700cc and the 750cc. The 750cc had a V-twin engine that puts out about 54 horsepower and is shaft driven, so there's no chain maintenance, which is really, really nice. The Verago line was taken over by the V-Star series, but I honestly like the Verago series better. I think it was just higher quality, and there's just less problems, I think, electronically with the Verago series compared to the V-Star. When the V-Star series got taken over, I don't think it was a fully Yamaha company. I think V-Star came from like another company in general, and they just decided to merge with Yamaha, and I don't know, for some reason the quality just kind of took a shit to me, you know, personally. I used to fix a lot of different V-Stars, and I own personally 2 different Veragos, and they all were just flawless. I'm talking, they worked so well. I never had to worry about anything breaking down. Everything was heavy duty. The electronics worked perfectly on it. And honestly, one of the best things about the Verago was the aesthetics as well. The way the gas tank just teardropped out, oh my god, man, it looks so beautiful, man. When you think of a cruiser, you really do think about, like, you know, the Harley Sportster, and you think of the Yamaha Verago as a very typical, just beautiful looking cruiser. And their gas tanks are just like probably one of the best gas tanks I've ever seen on a motorcycle. The second best gas tank that I've seen on a motorcycle is the Harley Davidson Peanut tank. And those are such good bikes as well, like I was telling you on the Sportster, you know, another really good bike. You can usually find these bikes anywhere from like 1,700 to, say, I don't know, maybe 2,800. So you really don't have to pay a lot of money to get a really nice, solid working bike. And the Veragos were just definitely on the better end of the spectrum before they got the V-Star series. All right, we're just gonna walk this last bike on the list out. So the last bike on this list is gonna be the Kawasaki Vulcan. It's gonna be produced from 1984 to 2006. These bikes range from 150cc all the way to 2000cc engines. My favorites being the 750s or the 900s. Another kind of like really nice aesthetically pleasing bike. They're very balanced well, and they're easy to handle. They're a V-twin engine, and they're shaft driven as well, so you don't have any chain maintenance on this motorcycle either. What I loved about it is the mag wheels and the passenger hump on the back. Now, I know you're thinking that's kind of ugly, but when it comes to the ability for your passenger to actually see what's going on, it's actually really nice, because it kind of sucks looking at the back of, you know, the driver's head. I remember I used to be a passenger on my dad's bike when I was real young, and I would just look at his back of his head. You know, that it sucks, you know. So when you have a raised up platform where you can actually see over it, it's really more enjoyable, because you can see forward and then side to the side. This is the only bike on the list that I haven't owned, but I have ridden a couple of them, and they were just really nice. And I would definitely pick one up, because they're usually on Craigslist for anywhere from $2,000 to $3,200. So not expensive at all, and just really, I don't know, just aesthetically pleasing bikes, and you know they're going to be reliable and dependable. All right, well, that was my list. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys have any comments, put them in the box below. I'm sure you guys have plenty of bikes that weren't on the list, but were still amazing bikes. So, you know, like I say, keep it civil, and y'all have fun riding, all right? We'll see you soon. Peace.